The Lanterns of Lumeria. Part 1, The Village and the Lanterns. In a quiet valley nestled between towering, star-kissed mountains, there was a village unlike any other. This village was called Lumeria, and it was a place where even the simplest things shimmered with a touch of magic. Its houses were built of golden wood that glowed faintly in the evening, and the gardens bloomed with flowers that opened only under the moon's soft gaze. Yet, the true wonder of Lumeria lay not in its architecture or flora, but in the lanterns. These were no ordinary lanterns. Each held a tiny wisp of magic, a gentle spirit that carried dreams, hopes, and whispered stories through the night. They glimmered in shades of amber, sapphire, and rose, drifting like living stars above the cobblestone streets. Every evening, as the sun dipped behind the jagged peaks and painted the sky in lilac and rose, the villagers would light their lanterns. The lights would float and dance above rooftops, weaving through the village in soft spirals, painting the night in quiet luminescence. Among the villagers lived a young girl named Ilara. She had hair like spun silver and eyes deep as twilight pools. She often sat on the grassy hill behind her home, watching the lanterns rise, mesmerized by their gentle glow. The village children would sometimes chase the floating lights, laughing quietly so as not to disturb the soft hum of magic in the air. But Ilara preferred stillness. She liked to imagine the lanterns whispering secrets of the world, sharing tales of clouds that floated for 1,000 years, rivers that sang lullabies, and stars that dreamed of faraway lands. Her grandmother, a kind and wise woman with hair as white as moonlight, had told her, "The forest listens, Ilara. Every leaf, every petal, every stone holds a story. And if your heart is quiet, the lanterns will tell you their secrets." Ilara often thought of those words, wondering what secrets the lanterns held. She sometimes imagined walking beside them as they floated into the forest, slipping quietly among the ancient trees to hear the whispers of dreams. The villagers had rituals with the lanterns too. Each home had a little lantern box by the window. Every evening, families would gather, light their lanterns, and whisper wishes into the flames. Some whispered for health, some for courage, and some for dreams yet unborn. The magic of Lumeria was gentle, but powerful. It reminded every soul that there was wonder in the world, even if it moved slowly and quietly. On this particular evening, Ilara sat on the hill as the first stars appeared. The air was cool, carrying the soft scent of moonflowers from the gardens below. She clutched her own small lantern, a delicate globe of golden light, and watched as it trembled with a subtle warmth, almost alive. Ilara, her grandmother had said earlier, "Tonight may be different. Tonight, if you are ready, the lanterns may call to you." Ilara's heart stirred as she thought of this. She wasn't quite sure what called meant, but she trusted the lanterns. She leaned back against the soft grass and let her breathing slow, feeling the rhythmic hum of magic around her. The village below was quiet now. The last sounds of laughter had faded, and the lanterns drifted higher, like fireflies released into the night sky. Suddenly, a faint tug brushed against her heart, a soft, invisible hand guiding her gaze toward the forest at the edge of the valley. The trees were dark and still, their silver-barked trunks gleaming faintly in the starlight. The golden lantern in her hand pulsed softly, as though it had felt the same tug. Ilara stood, brushing dew from her dress, and whispered, "Are you calling me?" The lantern floated slightly higher, bobbing gently, as though nodding. And in that instant, Ilara understood, the journey had begun. Part 2, The Call to the Forest. Wrapped in her shawl that smelled faintly of lavender and moonlight, Ilara tiptoed past the sleeping cottages of Lumeria. The village lay in gentle quiet, windows glimmered softly, and chimney smoke curled lazily toward the stars. She made her way to the hill that sloped down to the forest, feeling the gentle tug in her chest strengthen. The forest seemed to welcome her. Its air was fragrant with damp moss, soft leaves, and the faint sweetness of night-blooming flowers. The tall trees were silver-barked and tipped with leaves that glimmered faintly, as if sprinkled with starlight. Soft ferns brushed against her ankles, and the ground beneath her feet was padded with moss that seemed to hum a soft lullaby. "Hello," she whispered, feeling a shiver of excitement. From somewhere deep in the trees, a soft rustle answered, like leaves whispering secrets to one another. The lantern in her hand floated ahead of her, bobbing gently. She followed it, walking slowly, savoring every detail, the glow of tiny flowers along the path, the faint reflection of the moon on a hidden stream, the quiet music of crickets and nightbirds. Eventually, she came to a small clearing where the air shimmered with golden light. Hundreds of lanterns hovered in a loose spiral, each one pulsing softly with warmth. At the center floated a lantern larger than the rest, a gentle orb of gold that seemed alive with intelligence. The golden lantern spoke in a voice like rustling leaves, "Welcome, Ilara. We have been waiting for you." Ilara's heart skipped. "Waiting for me?" she asked. "Yes," the lantern replied. "Tonight, you will see the dreams of the world. You will walk among them and carry their peace with you." Ilara hesitated, but the lantern's warm glow eased her fear. Slowly, she stepped into the clearing. The other lanterns parted gracefully, forming a soft circle around her. Then, the golden lantern rose higher, beckoning her to follow deeper into the forest. The path twisted gently between silver trees, each step softer than the last. The lanterns danced around her, weaving through branches, brushing softly against leaves that glimmered as if alive. At one point, a small fox with fur of moonlight trotted alongside her, pausing to gaze up at the floating lights. Its eyes were deep pools of calm, and it seemed to nod in encouragement before disappearing quietly into the shadows. Ilara felt a sense of serenity she had never known. Every breath filled her chest with calm. Her footsteps slowed, her heartbeat settled, and a soft, rhythmic music seemed to hum through the air, perhaps the sound of dreams themselves, vibrating through the forest. Part 3, The Grove of Dreams. At last, they arrived at a grove where the trees arched overhead, forming a natural dome. The leaves glimmered like tiny stars, and in the center lay a still pool reflecting the night sky. The golden lantern hovered above the water, pulsing gently. "This pool," it said softly, "is a mirror of dreams. Look into it, and you will see what your heart needs tonight." Ilara knelt by the water, her reflection calm and serene. Slowly, shapes began to emerge. She saw herself walking through fields of glowing flowers, feeling the soft warmth of sunlight, even in the night. She saw her friends laughing, her family smiling, a gentle, endless peace surrounding them. Then she saw herself soaring above clouds on wings of light, drifting wherever she wished, unbound and free. Tears pricked her eyes, not from sadness, but from the beauty and quiet magic of the visions. "It's all so calm," she whispered. "Yes," the lantern replied. "This is what the world feels like when it dreams. And tonight, you are part of that dream." The golden lantern drifted closer, and Ilara noticed tiny creatures of light weaving through the air. They resembled fireflies, but their glow was soft and gentle, and they hummed quietly as they passed. "Are they real?" she asked. "They are," said the lantern. "They are fragments of hope and wonder. They move between the waking world and dreams, carrying peace to those who need it most." Ilara watched as they danced above the water, then dipped into the pool, creating ripples that shimmered like liquid moonlight. She felt a profound calm, as if the weight of the world had lifted from her shoulders. Then, she heard a whisper from the far side of the grove. A soft, melodic voice called, "Ilara, come and see." Curious, she walked slowly toward the sound. A gentle breeze guided her steps, carrying the scent of jasmine and night rain. There, in a smaller circle of lanterns, floated tiny doors of glowing wood, each one humming softly. She reached out and touched one. It swung open easily, revealing a miniature world inside a forest, a river, and a sky filled with drifting stars, all contained within a single lantern. The golden lantern spoke again, "These are the dreams of Lumeria. Each one contains a story, a memory, a wish. Some are small, some vast. Some may seem ordinary, but each holds magic." Ilara smiled. "Can I enter them?" "If your heart is quiet, yes," said the lantern. And so, she knelt by the lanterns, gently touching each one, letting the soft magic envelop her. She drifted from world to world, walking along rivers of silver light, stepping through fields of glowing flowers, and hearing the whispers of countless dreams brushing against her heart. She felt as though she had been born to this moment, a quiet guardian of dreams, drifting softly through worlds that moved at the pace of stars.